in your entire journey, business and life, what is the number one thing that you've learned that changed everything you did? So for people listening, because I think your journey is really interesting, you have had some of the biggest challenges in terms of, moving from something that you were already doing in terms of architecture to building this. And that's now developed into three main different things with the podcast and the two separate businesses. But there are certain things that people go through, and it's the life experience that you specifically had. And you go, man, this is what I'll pass to my son, my daughter, and the next generation, because it's what made a profound difference in what I do. If you could share, I know you've got many, many, many years to go in what you're doing, but as of now, what is the most profound thing you've learned in this entire journey that you'd like to share with the people listening that they could then obviously take on board and implement with themselves?
Yeah, well, there's a sentence that I try to live by, and it relates because of my architectural background as well. Mm-hmm. So it's simple as become the architect of your own future. Yeah. And I like that because the word architect, the role of the architect, if you're taking it outside of the traditional sense, is to design, to create something out of nothing. Like you're literally imagining things that aren't there. You come up with the concept, you design it, you build it. Yeah. Right. So you're bringing that into realization. So for me, becoming the architect of your own future is designing the life that you want. So for me, I think that's been the biggest learning. And every single time I speak with my students or even teachers, it's always about a different variable of that same sentence, the same foundation. So that's the only saying I have on Facebook.
Yep. Well, that's a powerful one, because I mean that's like a high chunk, broad statement, but it applies in so many different contexts. That's how I look at it. And I think that's why you don't need many different versions, because it's so true, right? Like everything you see, because funny thing is, I'll share this with you, is when I was in high school and I didn't know what I want to pick, and I was like, uni's coming, and so it was a bit of off the rails at that point, but it's like, I wanted to do architecture. That was the thing I picked. Because I like designing, I like designing stuff, and I like to create stuff from nothing. And I was like, if I can create and build something, I love that stuff. And so as I realized that things weren't going the way I wanted them to go towards the end of high school, I was like, okay, architecture is kind of related to selling property, because I'm going to be in the houses. Maybe if I'm in the houses long enough and selling all these mansions and things and going through all these properties, I might start to see all these designs, and then I can go and do that. Right? Obviously, life takes you different ways, and you don't know at the time why, but it goes a certain way. But I love that, because I also agree with you. Like, it's so true, right? If you want to create a life that you want, you are actually thinking it first. You go into your mind and you go, what's in there? And then you're creating something from nothing. I heard another statement which relates to what you're saying. It's like everything that you see in reality was once a thought. From the spaceship that's on the moon to whatever you want to think of, the car, to the first car, the first plane, it was something invisible in someone's head that you couldn't touch. The five senses had not experienced it yet. It was a consciousness, and then it's developed into reality, right? And that statement, what you say, like, I'm so in line with that.